Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into this really incredible school project from South Korea. Now, on the surface, it looks like it's just about students building a coding-powered car. But really, it's a masterclass in teaching the things that are the hardest to learn. Stuff like creativity, true collaboration, and real personal motivation.
I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? For any teacher, any manager, any parent, even. In a classroom, it's just so tough. You've got your cliques, you have students who are naturally kind of shy, and then you have others who might be completely disengaged. So how do you design an experience where every single person feels not just included, but like essential? Okay, so let's get into it. A teacher named Young Chan came up with this project that just flips the traditional classroom on its head. We're going to break down his entire 16-session plan because the lessons here about ownership, teamwork, evaluation, they're valuable way beyond the classroom walls. This isn't just about building a car, it's about building innovators.
So the very first phase of this project, it has nothing to do with wires or code. And the teacher's goal here is incredibly insightful. He wants to build this powerful sense of ownership in every student before they even think about touching a single component.
It all starts with just a single piece of A4 paper. That's it. Each student has to invent their own car company, design a logo for it, and then sketch out a totally unique car. They're even encouraged to use their phones to look up famous logos, like Audi or Mercedes-Benz, just to get some inspiration. By the end of these first few sessions, every single student has presented their own brand and their own vision. They're not just students anymore, they're founders.
And this quote from the teacher just says it all. This isn't some assignment they just have to get done. It's a company they are building from the ground up. This simple change in how you frame it, from the very beginning, it changes everything. It becomes about identity, about pride, and about real personal investment. But individual ownership is just the beginning. This next phase, this is arguably the most radical part of the entire project. It's a completely counterintuitive way to build teams that, get this, guarantees everyone is engaged.
So, we all know how this usually goes when you let students pick their own teams, right? The A students and all the best friends group up immediately, and that leaves the quieter or less engaged students to form this kind of leftover team that, honestly, struggles from the very start. Well, to stop that from happening, this teacher flipped the entire script on who gets to be a leader.
You heard that right. The teacher, making sure to create a really safe environment, had the class vote for the students they thought would be the least likely to actively participate. And those students, they became the team captains. The logic here is just genius. By giving the responsibility of leadership to the very kids who might otherwise check out, you force them to engage. Their team's success is now completely on their shoulders.
And the process for building out the rest of the team is just as clever. First, these new leaders, they have to draft the class aces, the most skilled students, because, well, their own success depends on it. Then those aces get to draft the next round of teammates. And finally, any students who are left get to choose which of the newly formed teams they want to join. It's this brilliant multi-step process that just shatters all the usual social cliques and gives every single student a real say in their group.
Okay, so the teams are formed, now it's time to actually build. But here again, the teacher doesn't just hand them a step-by-step instruction manual. No way. Instead, he uses a teaching method called scaffolding. He provides just enough of a foundation to get them started, but leaves the real problems for the students to solve themselves. So each team gets this starter kit with the bare essentials. A couple of microcontrollers for a brain, motors and wheels to get it moving, a power source. But notice what's missing. There's no car body, there's no steering mechanism, there are no instructions. It is literally just a pile of parts and a world of possibilities.
And here's the crucial part, the scaffolding. The teacher gives them the code to make the car's wheels go forward and to make them stop. Simple enough. But he deliberately, on purpose, leaves out the most important part, the code to make the car turn left and right. The teams have to figure that out all on their own. And this one, single, focus challenge, it becomes the whole point, forcing them to collaborate, to experiment, and to really understand the logic of code.
All right, now we get to the climax of the whole thing. The evaluation. All the teams bring their custom-built cars to a track, and they compete. But here's the twist.
Winning the race is only a tiny part of what it means to be successful in this project.
This is where the project's true values just become crystal clear. The actual race, how fast the car goes, is only worth a quarter of the total grade. The other 75% is based on their team portfolio, a peer review of their car's design, and how much each member contributed. So success isn't just about speed, it's about collaboration, documentation, and pure creativity.
The design evaluation part is especially clever. It's inspired by a popular TV competition show called I Am a Singer. And the way it works is students don't vote for the cars in their own class. Instead, Class A votes on the designs from Classes B, C, and D. This makes sure it's impartial, right? You can't just vote for your friend's car. It becomes a genuine assessment of the design, the effort, and the aesthetics.
That team portfolio, or OOP as they call it, is another huge component. Each team has to build their own website using a simple tool like Google Sites. And on that site, they document their entire journey. I mean everything, from the first logo sketches and design ideas, to photos of them building it, and then finally, a video of their car in action. It shows that the process, the journey, is valued just as much as the final product.
And this brings us to the final, and I think maybe the most powerful session of the entire project. After all the building and the coding and the competing is done, the teacher holds one last meeting with each team.
He calls it a confessional. In a private setting, away from the rest of the class, he sits down with each team and just asks them to reflect on their own performance. This isn't about him giving them a grade, it's about them finding the grade themselves. He asks every student that one simple, direct question. And after a student gives their score, he turns to their teammates and asks, "Do you agree?" This just creates this incredible moment of accountability and honesty. The teacher said that a lot of the time, teammates would actually argue that a quiet student who gave themselves a 3 really deserved a 5 for all their crucial but kind of unsung contributions. It's the final, perfect lesson in collaborative evaluation. In the end, this whole coding car challenge, it provides such a powerful new model for what education could be. It suggests that maybe, just maybe, the goal isn't to give students the right answers. Maybe the real goal is to create a structure where they feel empowered to ask the right questions and to build the answers together. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.